Now, other news tonight, we are uncovering new details in the firing of a Middletown police sergeant. The city says Frank Skirpo was sexually harassing officers he was supervising. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Matthew Campbell just obtained the details from this months-long investigation. Matthew, what have you learned?
Denise, we wanted to know why this sergeant was fired. So through the Freedom of Information Act, we requested this internal document, and in it you're going to see pages and pages of officer testimony who basically all say that this sergeant made them feel uncomfortable.
Excellence, integrity, and professionalism. These words are found on each police vehicle in Middletown, and tonight the city says former Sergeant Frank Skirpo failed to meet them. Last month, the longtime sergeant was fired for his alleged conduct inside and outside the walls of this department. An officer came forward with the initial complaint accusing Skirpo of putting his hand down an officer's jacket and feeling around his arm to determine if he was wearing an unauthorized shirt. Once that complaint was filed, other officers who previously were hesitant to come forward started detailing their accounts of Skirpo making them uncomfortable. It includes touching the tips of another officer's fingers, touching an officer's ear, rubbing an officer's scalp, caressing the side of an officer's face, showing officers pornography, grabbing an officer's buttocks, and intentionally exposing himself in the locker room. An investigation was opened, and according to internal affairs documents we obtained through the Freedom of Information Act, several of these incidents were caught on camera. Other officers complained Skirpo, who was also a firearms instructor, would often, quote, berate and belittle officers, even in public. When interviewed, Skirpo, who has been on the force for more than a decade, admitted to some but not all of these allegations. There were many instances where he could not recall them, but the times when he did remember, Skirpo said he was, quote, just trying to joke around. Ultimately, Skirpo was fired for violating the city's sexual harassment policy. Mayor Dan Drew saying, quote, while none of these incidents in isolation warrant termination, in the aggregate, they present a serious pattern of behavior which does warrant this course. Taxpayers we spoke with agree.
People's boundaries, their emotional and physical well-being is very important. And regardless if it's a joke or not, if you feel uncomfortable, it needs to stop.
Now, we did reach out to the Middletown Police Union and Skirpo himself. We have not heard back from either. We also did learn that Skirpo will be able to collect on his pension and his health benefits, all from his collective bargaining agreement. That's the latest live here in the control room tonight. Matthew Campbell, Channel 3 Eyewitness News. Okay.